Anyway, so this has been doing the numbers here. Holy crap. I can't believe this is somehow a controversial post. It's crazy to me. This is a controversial post, by the way. Stop blaming variance. You either misplayed or didn't build your deck correctly. Take accountability. It's the only way to improve. This was somehow a bad take. This was somehow, like, getting people upset. It's crazy the amount of entitlement that people can have in the community. It's insane to me. Anyway, to really break this down... Okay, Bowden's response to this was really funny. Me, when I draw all engine and my only self-evaluation is changing decks or shuffling better. Okay, but here's the thing, right? 90% of players, I can promise you, the average Yu-Gi-Oh player, 90% of players, their biggest problem is like, yeah, okay, let's just caveat it real first, quick, and say 100%. Some games are unwinnable. Doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter what you could have played differently, doesn't matter what happened, it just wasn't your game. That happened. It's a card game. That's okay. You know, that happens. That does happen. However, I can promise you, in like 90% of games, for the average player, they probably misplayed. They probably did something wrong and they don't see it in hindsight. They probably missided. Because this is, again, this is one of the biggest points in Yu-Gi-Oh! That people don't seem to do correctly. People don't know how to side deck. It's 50% of your games in Yu-Gi-Oh! Are played with a side deck. It's criminally underrated how bad Yu-Gi-Oh! Players can be at side decking. They go into a tournament, they don't know how to side deck. They don't know how to... bring in like their correct siding patterns for different matchups, first or second. So many people build their side deck based off of vibes, which is fine. That's not to say like that's a bad thing. It's absolutely okay to play the game with vibing. It's just that when you lose, you shouldn't, blame external factors, okay? It's important to take accountability. This is not to like shame anyone who like isn't sweating hard enough over their like, 17% increase of opening a certain, board breaker going second with their 6th card for opening hand into this specific matchup in game 3 into time. Listen, I completely understand that's not for everyone, okay? However, it's something that people do wrong, and it's something that people can fuck up quite easily, is like their card choices, right? So absolutely, I think this post applies to the majority of cases, the absolute majority of cases. You probably, if there was a YGO Pro replay of your duel, you could probably go back and find exactly like what you did wrong. And in terms of misplaying, right? A what? That's a metaphor. I'm not referring to any one individual program there. I don't know what you're saying. Bro, people side like 6 cards for a matchup and don't have 6 cards inside out. Exactly. Yeah, like so many people like just don't know how to like side deck correctly. It's crazy. So anyway, I don't know why this was so controversial. This made so many people upset. I don't get it. It's like It's just the human nature thing, okay? This is like the difference between a champion and a good player. You'll always notice the differences in the mentality whenever you listen to Jesse talk, whenever you listen to Josh talk about their tournament performances, etc., etc. You will always pick up on this thing. You will notice that they always are introspective, they are self-reflecting, and they are constantly seeking to improve. Even the YCS that Josh won, he would talk about how like he was lucky, he just had a couple of favorable matchups, etc., etc. Right? There's always like external factors that can like that you can like try and take account of and analyze. But the average player, so many times at locals or whatever, especially as a content creator, not trying to like squeeze my horn or anything, but I walk around the YCS, I meet like different, people who want to like take a picture or sign a card or something, and I ask them how did their round go, and it's always like I got sacked by this card or my opponent like drew the nuts, and it's just like, buddy, I'm pretty sure if we had like a freaking roundtable council discussion, sit down and watch your replay of your last round beginning to end, you would probably find the situation where you misplayed or did something incorrectly, right? Because it's like the natural human thing, right? People just love to blame external factors. People love to, just not have accountability, right? Because it's easy to blame other things that are out of your control. Because if it's out of your control, then you no longer have accountability, okay? You misplayed, I got sacked, we are not the same. Exactly. Exactly. Okay? This is very important. This is the next important thing I wanted to show you. By the way, stop sending me this bullshit! Stop sending me this! Stop it! Stop sending me this crap, dude! Stop it! Anyway, this is what I want to bring up. You are throwing. I am unlucky. We are not the same. Okay? This is very important, okay? For the most part, this is very important. You are throwing. I'm just unlucky, okay? We're not the same. So anyway, I don't know why people were so upset about this. Although Bowden's response is very funny. I should have shuffled better. But that's the thing, okay? To be fair, like, that is true. It can happen. And there's just, like, so many, like, quote tweets of people, like, just getting angry at this, just, like, disagreeing. Just everyone has a take, man. Everyone has a take. It's just, like, the nature of social media. Everyone has everyone has an opinion. Everyone has something to say. Everyone has, a horse in the race, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, so yeah, that was just my little rant about the Twitter drama. TLDR, if you lose a game in Yu-Gi-Oh, 90% of the time it was probably your fault. That's a reality. For most people, it was probably your fault. Like, I can promise you, for the average player, it's probably your fault. Okay?